Today we will be solving one-step equations with rational numbers, either in the decimal or fraction form or even integers, but with word problems today. So let's take a look at our first problem, and it says that Sue spent a total of $52.50 at Ross. She bought two items. Okay, so she has a total, so it's like item A and item B, and they equal a total of $52.50. This is, again, the amount that they equate to. So it says a t-shirt was, one of the items was a t-shirt. It cost $19.95. So we'll call that item A. So the t-shirt here is item A, and it cost $19.95. And then we have a pair of shoes. So that's the other thing. So this is the shoes. So we'll say shoes here. And again, they add together to make $52.50. And so we don't know the cost of the shoes, and that's what they're asking for. So whatever the question is, what did the shoes cost? Okay, that is our unknown. We'll call that X. And so let's go ahead and set up an equation. We've got $19.95 plus X equals $52.50. So now we're ready to solve, and so we're going to go ahead and subtract that $19.95 from both sides. So I'll do that on both sides of the equation. And when I do that, I'll have to borrow a bit. So let's go ahead and do our borrowing. And we got to borrow all the way back from the tens place, change that to a 4. 12 goes to an 11, and the 15 goes to a 14. So we're ready to go ahead and do the subtraction, and it looks like we're going to have a 5. We have another 5. Decimal point comes straight down. 11 minus 9 makes 2. 4 minus 1 makes 3. So there it is. $32.55 was the cost of the shoes. So let's move on to the next problem. It says after driving for 2.5 hours, Ed estimated that it would be another 2/3 of an hour before they reach the lake. So they're asking how long is the ride to the lake. So we have the initial 2.5 hours, and then here it says and another. So this tells us that we're going to add. We're going to add 2/3, and this will equal the total time. Time of trip, we'll say. And so let's go ahead and add these two numbers. Again, when we're adding with fractions, we've got to come up with that common denominator. So I'm going to have to multiply the 3 by 2, and the 1/2 needs 3. So we go ahead and multiply. I'm left with 2 and 3, 6, and I need to add on this 4, 6. And so when I add those numbers, that gives me 2 and 7, 6. Well, 7, 6 is an improper fraction, so we're going to go ahead and have to change that to a mixed number. So 2 plus 1 and 1/6 is what that would be. So 6 goes into 7 one time with 1 left over. And then I just add these whole numbers. So that's where I'm getting 3 and 1/6 hours. Well, moving on to our last one, it says Will and Sean descend to a depth of negative 75 feet in 12.5 minutes. What is the rate of descent in feet per minute? Okay, they want to know feet per minute. So this is set up as a fraction. Per means to divide. So when we divide, we're going to write it as a fraction. Feet per minute. So let's put the feet on top. Negative 75 represents that we're going down 75 feet. 12.5 minutes means that it took us 12.5 minutes to do that. And so from here, we can go ahead and divide. So all we're going to do is 12.5 into 75. And so we're going to go ahead and move that decimal point over and add a 0, because we have no number after the 5, and so that forces us to add a 0. So let's go ahead and rewrite that. 125 into 750. So now we can go ahead and do some division. So 125 into 750. So what I like to do is cover up the 5. So I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to cover up this 5, cover up the 0 and think of 12 into 75. How many times does 12 go into 75? Well, it goes in 6 times, so that gives us a starting spot. So let's try 6. See, 6 times 12 is 72, so let's see if this works. 6 times 5 is 30, and 6 times 2 is 12 plus the 3 gives me 15. So far, so good. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 makes 7. Hey, that worked out perfectly. It got exactly what we needed. So 6 with the remainder of 0. So that means that we're going to descend 6 feet per minute. Now, this would mean, again, the same thing. That negative 6 means you're going down 6 feet every minute is what that represents. So those are the problems that you're going to see on tonight's homework. Good luck.